Shalom, welcome to another Kabbalah Academy Crown Jewel Word Analysis. Today it's in the line of imprisonment, so I have the words prison, criminal, justice, words like that. So prison, that would be P, a Fe, R, Resh, I, the Yud, S, Samech, O, the top of the nail, Vav, and a Nun for the end, okay? Prison. So let's immediately go to the drawing table. There's lots to show you there. Yes. Person. Fe, mouth. Forms, top of, this is the Yud, spirit, right? Some cycles, Vav for the O is the top of the nail, and a Nun. End of the word, Nun Sofit, final Nun. Okay, what can I tell you about this? Well, there's a couple of things that we see immediately, like the par. Okay, par is 280, and 280 is Sandalphon. The value of Sandalphon. Sandalphon is the ministering angel of Asiya. Okay, so that is the world of action. Make it short to keep it fitting. Sandalphon, Vav Nun comes after Bound Soul. Okay, what else? So we have spirit, we have this. We have the Yud and the Samech. You have the spirit in cycles, right? Bound cycles, bound and cycles. But Vav and Nun together is 70, which is of course 70 nations in cycles. Cycle, I always make it so, like an Ouroboros, the snake that eats its own tail. We have then the top of the nail. So if you take Zerampin, because of Vav is 6. So Tiferes, sometimes at Yisod, but mainly also at Zerampin in total with Tiferes as its heart. But now we have an O, so that's the top of the nail. So that means when you would look at Zerampin, Chesed, Gevura, Tiferes, Netzach. You saw it working upon the Malchut, top of the nail here. Cycles run inside the system. Beheaded, no Das, no Ima, no Abba. Okay, so that's it. Beheading. Okay, so vicious cycles within Zerampin. That leaves us with the Nun, which is, the Nun is 50. No. Okay, so Nun, where we had spirit, and this is soul, okay? So this is Nefesh, and that's Ruach. Nefesh. Nefesh. And the Nefesh is connected to Asiya, and we already had Sandalphon, remember? So that's precise. The spirit is Ruach, which is connected to Yetzirah and Zerampin, okay? So Malchut, Asiya, Serampin, Yetzirah. That's also correct. 70 cycles, which is Serampin, Ruach, including the seventh upon it works, which is Asiya Malchut. The Gematria didn't give me any specific insights here. It's more about the permutations. So we have a couple of permutations, which was again, of course, staying with the Sandalphon, par 280, Sandalphon. Then the binding from the top of the nail, right? Binding from the top of the nail. What does it bind? Sin. S-I-N. Because par, top of the nail, sin. We call that tzurufin. So rearranging of the letters is the tzurufin. So sin, another translating of the English into the Lashon, right? Sin, samach, yud, nun is sin. So Sandalphon binds your sin. Your sinners are bound within the pit and within Asiya. Okay, so binding of soul and spirit. Let's proceed. I have other permutations. So, Yud, spirit, right? Vav, Fe, Nun. First I'll write them out. Samech, Reish. Okay. The spirit. This value 6 plus 80 plus 50, 136, which is the value of Ha, Sa, Ma, El. Asamael. And these are again, of course, cycles. So, well, the Samach already shows it. Its shape already shows it, but I'll just do so. Cycles and of the forms, racist forms. En forms are de midot, Serampin, Chesed Kefudot Tiferes, Chesed Kefudot Tiferes Netzach, or just sort working upon the Malchut. Okay, so these are the forms. I have something to say because the spirit, right? So here you can see the spirit enters in the system of Samael that cycles within the forms. That's how I would interpret this, right? The spirit. Because that's the Ruach. Right? The Ruach is in Yetzirah, and that's where the forms, that's where we work on the forms. Okay, the nefesh, the animal soul, the lower is in Asiya, and it's all connected, but the real work is in Yetzirah, the forms. So this is why it has mainly here the Ruach shown to be that part to work on. Okay, because it's also later these elevations of the we say neshama soul levels, but like when you would receive an ibur, that would be the chaya of ruach. So you have nefesh of ruach, ruach of ruach, neshama of ruach, chaya of ruach, yechida of ruach. Okay, so the work is mainly in Yetzirah. Okay, so I hope that's clear. I have another permutation, namely the following. Resh, Yud, which is fruit, pri, the fruit. Vav was top of the nail, binding. And Vav Nun is a bound soul, right? It's also something that can hint at demons and Sameh. So the fruit, so imprisoning is the fruit of a bound soul going in cycles, okay? It's locked up in cycles. So that's really what prison is, right? A soul, a bound soul locked up in the cycles of its own doings. So being, yes, that's the best way I can translate it, right? And the soul nefesh connecting to Tzalma von Asiya being that prison, even though Yisod is also the pit, and we'll see that in another word. First, I had jail, the word jail, for example, that would be for a yud for the J, Aleph, yes, I would do an Aleph for the A, another yud for the I, and a Lamed for the L, of course. That was interesting in Atbash. Okay, so 2051, well, this has a value of 51, which is already the value of Kala, which is the destroyer bride. But more interesting is if we look at the backside of this, means you take it to the Al Atbash cipher. From the album to the Atbash we get Mem, Tav, hand of God, Mem, Kav. And this is death, and this value is 60. So, so really, this is death to 60, right? 60, the cycle. 60 again is Samech. So it's the cycles of death. And death means descent. Death means descent. Cycles of death. There's one without Torah, one without water is considered dead also. So it's a descent, okay? It's also a state of consciousness, death. So it's not like we're used to in the Western world to think, oh, you're dead, it's over. No, death means a certain state of consciousness, which is not the state of consciousness you want to be in, of course. Okay, so that being said, we'll proceed to the next word, which is, first of all, crime. Crime. And that would be a kaf, carry, the C, a race, forms, a yud, a mem, and an iron. Now, Krim 20, 222, 30 to 70. There you have it. Crime already values 270, which is the value of Ra, evil. So evil, and this iron values 70, which is their Einpin. So 7 evils, Zaire, it's already there. Zain Ra, okay? Zerampin, crime, 7 evils, 70 nations, of course, the nations which are wicked. But these allude to the forms in Kabbalah. This is about the forms, not about all man-made structures that came, of course, from out of these forms, definitely. So that's first. But let's change the word a little. Let's say criminal. criminal. This gives us a whole other insight. So if you truly want to learn about these forms, about all the prerequisites to have a proper understanding of Kabbalah, and learn about the letters, right? Because I'm making these videos so that you start to work with the Aleph Tav. The Lashon, the keys to the Lashon are in this amazing work, Likkutei Yirah 9. There's none like it. And information made accessible, understandable for the Western world. Okay, by Yirah H'ari. It's available on bookbaby.com and amazon.com. If you cannot afford a physical copy, we can provide you with a free PDF thereof. Just go through it quickly. So what we were seeing and will be seeing in the rest of the video is this system, right? You see the seven-headed serpent, Yetzer HaTov, Yetzer Hara. Okay, these are all the forms. And Proverbs 6:16, these are the 6 Yud He Vav He hates and 7 that are idols. The real idolatry is the forms. Okay, I'll go through it quickly. So we have Chesed spirit form, Gevura desire form, Tiferes holy form, Netzach soul form, Hoid emotion form, Yisod mental form, and the Malchut the physical form. So this is where the cycles, right? A beheading, no connection to the Rosh, cycles. Yetzirah, Asiya, you get it. This goes in great depth to the works thereof. It teaches how the forms, we, like the Chesed spirit form, we have a spirit, we are not our spirit. Gevura, desire form, we have desires, we are not our desires. Tiferet, holy form, we have a higher self, we are not our higher self. Netzach soul form, we have a soul, we are not our soul. Hoid emotion form, we have emotions, we are not our emotions. Yisod mental form, we have a mind, we are not our mind. Malchut physical form, we have a body, we are not our body. We are the choice between the forms and action, which is Yetzirah, forms and actions. Asiya, we are a spark of the endless, which is consciousness, right? Consciousness. So let's proceed to the drawing table. So again, we have the Krim 270, evil, Ra. I'll do it here. And it leaves us with the letters Yud, Lamet, Aleph, Nun, which spells Ilan. I think I should write it like this, which is a tree. Scroll also, but evil tree. So it's evil tree. Because man is a tree, man is considered a tree, but the evil, the cycles, right, in Zerampin is considered wicked, and the price is beheading, a disconnect, no connect to the Rosh, okay? So an evil tree, pursuing right, left, instead of Yashar, right? So, Toivera, this is why you will find that a word such as justice, well, here goes, we'll throw this one in also. So I had prison, I did that, I didn't do justice, no, I did crime. Okay, so justice, let's do this one, last one. Yud, Vav, Samech, that, Yud, Kaf for the C and an Ayin. That would give us, again, spirit, Zerampin, in cycles, serpent, but the nice thing here is the value thereof is 10 plus 6, went ahead of myself, 10 plus 6 plus 60 plus 9, 69, 75, 85, 85 is 86 in Kabbalah, which is the value of Elohim. Elohim, and Elohim runs the system of Yirah. Yirah. That's why Elohim has the same numerical value, 41, 1 plus 12, 13 plus 5, 18 plus 10, 28 plus 13, 41, ordinal as Samael, Sammy boy. (12 plus 1, 13 plus 13, 26 plus 15, 41. Okay, so what else? That leaves us with the Yud and the Kaf, which can be permutated to Ki, like, okay, like, and then the Ayin, the 70 nations. So, like the 70 nations. Together this value is 100 because it's 70 plus 20 plus 10 is 100, which is a full system. Okay, it's a full system. So even though this judgment, left and right, Tov and Ra, that system has authority, and it's there for those that are under that system and that need this system. So I hope that was helpful. Many blessings and shalom till the next video.